I am leaving the meeting. I got the link already. No.
Yeah.
ಕಳೆದ ವರ್ಷ ನಾವು 30 ಲಕ್ಷ ಕೋಟಿಯ ಬಜೆಟ್ ಅನ್ನು ಕಳೆದ ವರ್ಷ ಮಂಡಿಸಿದ್ದೇವೆ. ಅದನ್ನೇ ನಾವು ಈ ವರ್ಷ ನಾವು ಪ್ರಾಬಬ್ಲಿ ವಿ ವುಡ್ ಹ್ಯಾವ್ ರೀಚ್ಡ್ ಸಮಥಿಂಗ್ ಲೈಕ್ 30 to 40 lakh crores. ಅಷ್ಟು ದೊಡ್ಡ ಬಜೆಟ್ ಆಗಬೇಕು. ನಾವು ಕೋವಿಡ್-19 ಮತ್ತೆ ಮ್ಯಾಸಿವ್ ಎಕನಾಮಿಕ್ ಸ್ಲೋಡೌನ್ ಕಾರಣಕ್ಕಾಗಿ ತುಂಬಾ ಸೋತು ಹೋಗಿದ್ದೇವೆ. ಈ ಸೋಲನ್ನ ಸರ್ಕಾರದ ತಲೆಗೆ ಕಟ್ಟಬೇಕಾದ ಅಗತ್ಯ ಇಲ್ಲ. ಇವತ್ತಾಗಿರುವ ಸೋಲಿಗೆ ಸರ್ಕಾರ ಕಾರಣ ಅಂತ ಹೇಳಬೇಕಾದ ಅಗತ್ಯ ಇಲ್ಲ. ದಿಸ್ ಇಸ್ ಪ್ಯೂರ್ಲಿ ಬಿಕಾಸ್ ಆಫ್ ಕೋವಿಡ್ ಪ್ಯಾಂಡಮಿಕ್ ಆಸ್ ವೆಲ್ ಆಸ್ ದ ಎಕನಾಮಿಕ್ ಸ್ಲೋಡೌನ್. ಇದು ಗ್ಲೋಬಲಿ ಆಗಿರುವಂತಹದ್ದು. ನಿಮಗೆ ಅದರ ಮ್ಯಾಗ್ನಿಟ್ಯೂಡ್ ಎಷ್ಟು ಅಂತ ಮಕ್ಕಳಿಗೆ ಅರ್ಥ ಆಗ್ಬೋದು ಅಂತ ಕಾಣ್ತದೆ. ಯಾಕಂದ್ರೆ ಫೋನ್ ಅಲ್ಲಿ ಬಟನ್ ಒತ್ತಿ ಕ್ಯಾಲ್ಕುಲೇಟ್ ಮಾಡ್ಲಿಕ್ಕೆ ಸುಲಭ ಇರುತ್ತೆ. ಲಾಸ್ಟ್ ಇಯರ್ ನಾವು ನಮ್ಮ ರೆವಿನ್ಯೂ ಕಲೆಕ್ಷನ್, ರೆವಿನ್ಯೂ ಇನ್ಕಮ್ ಐ ಥಿಂಕ್ 22 ಲಕ್ಷ ಕೋಟಿ ರೂಪಾಯಿ ಮಾಡಬೇಕು ಅಂತ ಬಜೆಟ್ ಅಲ್ಲಿ ನಿರ್ಮಲಾ ಸೀತಾರಾಮನ್ ಹೇಳಿದ್ದಾರೆ. ನಾವು 7 ಲಕ್ಷ ಕೋಟಿ ರೂಪಾಯಿ ಹಿಂದೆ ಬಿದ್ದಿದ್ದೇವೆ. GST 1,20,000 ಕೋಟಿ ಆಗಿದೆ ಅಂತ ಹೇಳಿ ಚಪ್ಪಾಳೆ ನಾವು ತಟ್ಟಿಸ್ಕೊಂಡಿದ್ದೇವೆ. ಐಡಿಯಲಿ ಮಂತ್ಲಿ GST ಕಲೆಕ್ಷನ್ should have been something like 150 to 160 lakh crores. Now we are only at 120, and earlier 2 months we were in the 95 to 100 range. ಅಷ್ಟು ನಾವು ಸೋತಿರುವ ಹಿನ್ನೆಲೆಯಲ್ಲಿ ಈ ಬಜೆಟ್ ಅನ್ನು ಮಂಡಿಸಿದ್ದಾರೆ. ಅಷ್ಟು ನಮ್ಮಲ್ಲಿ ಹಿನ್ನಡೆ ಇರುವಂತ ಸ್ಥಿತಿ ಇದೆ. ಈ ಸ್ಥಿತಿಯಲ್ಲಿ ಯಾಕೆ ಆರ್ಥಿಕ ಸ್ಲೋ ಡೌನ್ ಆಗಿದೆ ಅಂತ ಹೇಳುವುದನ್ನ ಪೊಲಿಟಿಕಲಿ ಆಲೋಚನೆ ಮಾಡುವುದರ ಬದಲು ಎಕನಾಮಿಕಲಿ ಆಲೋಚನೆ ಮಾಡುವುದು ನಿರ್ಮಲಾ ಸೀತಾರಾಮನ್ ಅವರ ಕೆಲಸ. ಪೊಲಿಟಿಕಲಿ ನಾವು ಆಲೋಚನೆ ಮಾಡ್ತೇವೆ. ತಮಿಳುನಾಡಿಗೆ ಹೋದಾಗ, ವೆಸ್ಟ್ ಬೆಂಗಾಳಿಗೆ ಹೋದಾಗ ಅವ್ರು ಹೇಳಿದ್ರು, ಯಾರ ಸರಿ ಹೇಳಿದ್ರು, ಅಲ್ಲಿ ನಾವು ವಿಲ್ ಸ್ಪೀಕ್ ಪೊಲಿಟಿಕಲಿ ಅಬೌಟ್ ದಿ ಬಜೆಟ್. But Nirmala Sitharaman does not enjoy the freedom to speak politically about the budget inside the parliament. ಈಗ ಈ ಕಂಡೀಷನ್ ಅಲ್ಲಿ ಮೇನ್ ಸಮಸ್ಯೆ ಏನಪ್ಪಾ ಅಂತ ಹೇಳಿದ್ರೆ, ಇಲ್ಲಿ ಇಂಡಸ್ಟ್ರಿಯನ್ನ ಸ್ನೇಹಿತರಾದ ಕೃಷ್ಣ ಭಟ್ ರೆಪ್ರೆಸೆಂಟ್ ಮಾಡ್ತಾರೆ. ಗ್ಲೋಬಲಿ ಅಂಡರ್ಸ್ಟುಡ್ ಏನಪ್ಪಾ ಅಂತ ಕೇಳಿದ್ರೆ, ಇಲ್ಲಿ ಡಿಮಾಂಡ್ ರಿಸೆಷನ್ ಇದೆ, ಬೇಡಿಕೆ ಕೊರತೆ ದೊಡ್ಡದಾಗಿದೆ. ಇಲ್ಲಿ ನನಗೆ ಗೊತ್ತಿದ್ದ ಹಾಗೆ ಒಂದು 3-4 ತಿಂಗಳು ಮೊದಲು ಎಕನಾಮಿಕ್ ಟೈಮ್ಸ್ ಅಲ್ಲಿ ಬರೆದ ಲೇಖನದ ಪ್ರಕಾರ ಮೆಜಾರಿಟಿ ಆಫ್ ದಿ ಮ್ಯಾನುಫ್ಯಾಕ್ಚರರ್ಸ್ ಅವರು 70 to 75% ಅವರ ಏನು ಕೆಪಾಸಿಟಿಯನ್ನ ಯೂಸ್ ಮಾಡ್ತಾ ಇದ್ದಾರೆ ಅಷ್ಟೇ, ಅಥವಾ ಅದರಿಂದಲೂ ಕಡಿಮೆ ಯೂಸ್ ಮಾಡ್ತಾ ಇದ್ದಾರೆ. ಅದಕ್ಕಿಂತ ಜಾಸ್ತಿ ಯೂಸ್ ಮಾಡಿದ್ರೆ, ಅವರಿಗೆ ಪ್ರೊಡಕ್ಷನ್ ಮಾಡಿದ್ರೆ ಮಾರಾಟ ಮಾಡುವಂತ ಮಾರುಕಟ್ಟೆ ಇಲ್ಲ. ಈ ಸರ್ಕಾರ ಹೆಲ್ಪ್ ಮಾಡಬೇಕು ಅಂತ ಹೇಳಿದ್ರೆ ಇಂಡಸ್ಟ್ರಿ ಅವರಿಗೆ ಹೇಗೆ ಹೆಲ್ಪ್ ಮಾಡಬಹುದು? ನಾವೇನಾದ್ರೂ ನಿಮಗೆ 20 ಲಕ್ಷ ಕೋಟಿ ರೂಪಾಯಿ ಹೆಚ್ಚುವರಿ ಕೊಡ್ತೇವೆ ಅಂತ ಹೇಳಿದ್ರೆ, ಆಲ್ರೆಡಿ ದೇ ಆರ್ ಸಫರಿಂಗ್ ಫ್ರಮ್ ಎ ಡಿಮಾಂಡ್ ಡೆಫಿಸಿಟ್. ಈ ಸಂದರ್ಭದಲ್ಲಿ ಅದನ್ನು ರಿಜುವಿನೇಟ್ ಮಾಡಬೇಕಾದ್ರೆ ಡಿಮಾಂಡ್ ಹೆಚ್ಚು ಮಾಡುವಂತ ಸ್ಥಿತಿಗೆ ಬೇಕಾದ ಸರ್ಕಾರ ಪ್ರಯತ್ನ ಮಾಡಿದ್ರೆ, ಹಾಗಾಗಿ ಪಾಪದವರಿಗೂ ಪ್ರಯೋಜನ ಆಗ್ತದೆ, ಇಂಡಸ್ಟ್ರಿಯಲಿಸ್ಟ್ಗಳಿಗೂ ಪ್ರಯೋಜನ ಆಗುತ್ತೆ. ದಿಸ್ ಇಸ್ ದ ಥಾಟ್ ಬಿಹೈಂಡ್ ದಿ ಗವರ್ಮೆಂಟ್ ಆಫ್ ಇಂಡಿಯಾ. ನಾನು ಮೋದಿ ಅಂತ ಹೇಳ್ತಿಲ್ಲ, ಮನಮೋಹನ್ ಸಿಂಗ್ ಇರ್ಲಿ, ಮೋದಿ ಅವರ IRS ಅಧಿಕಾರಿ ಅಂತ ನನಗೆ ಪರಿಚಯ ಐತಿ. ಬಜೆಟ್ ಬರಿಬೇಕಾದವರು ಬಿಜೆಪಿ ಕಾಂಗ್ರೆಸ್ ಅಂತ ನೋಡಿ ಬರಲಿಕ್ಕೆ ಅಲ್ಲಿ ಫ್ರೀಡಮ್ ಇರಲ್ಲ ನಿಮಗೆ. ಸೊ ಎನಿ ಗವರ್ಮೆಂಟ್ ವಿಲ್ ಹ್ಯಾವ್ ಟು ಲುಕ್ ಇಟ್ ಅನ್ ಇಶ್ಯೂ ವೇರ್ ದೇ ಹ್ಯಾವ್ ಟು ಜನರೇಟ್ ಮೋರ್ ಡಿಮಾಂಡ್ ಫ್ರಮ್ ದಿ ಪುವರ್ ಪೀಪಲ್. ಬಡವರಿಗೆ ಡಿಮಾಂಡ್ ಜಾಸ್ತಿ ಮಾಡಬೇಕಾದ್ರೆ ಏನ್ ಮಾಡಬೇಕು? ನೇರವಾಗಿ ನಮ್ಮಲ್ಲಿ ಬಡವರು ಅಂತ ಹೇಳಿದ್ರೆ ಯಾರು ಅಂತ ಕೇಳಿದ್ರೆ, ನಾನಿಲ್ಲಿ ಮಾತಾಡ್ತಾ ಇರೋದು ಸುಳ್ಳು, ಶ್ರೀಧರ್ ಬಿಡೆಯವರು ಮಾತಾಡ್ತಾ ಇರುವಂತದ್ದು ಸುಳ್ಳು, ಬೇಜಾರು ಮಾಡಬೇಡಿ ಬಿಡೆಯವರೇ. ನಾವಿಬ್ರು ನಮ್ಮದೇ ಕಾರಿಗೆ AC ಹಾಕಿ ಇಲ್ಲಿಗೆ ಬಂದ ಕೃಷಿಕರು. ನಾವೇನಾದ್ರೂ ನಮ್ಮನ್ನು ಬಡವರು ಅಂತ ಹೇಳಿದ್ರೆ ಅದು ಸರಿ ಆಗ್ತದೆ ಶ್ರೀಧರಣ್ಣ? ಸರಿ ಆಗೋದಿಲ್ಲ. ಆದ್ರೆ ನೆನಪಿರಿ, 85%, ಅರೌಂಡ್ 85 to 88% ಆಫ್ ದ ಇಂಡಿಯನ್ ಫಾರ್ಮರ್ಸ್ ಆರ್ ಮಾರ್ಜಿನಲ್ ಫಾರ್ಮರ್ಸ್. ಅವರು ದಕ್ಷಿಣ ಕನ್ನಡದಲ್ಲಿ ಇಲ್ಲವೇ ಇಲ್ಲ. ಇಲ್ಲಿ ಕೂತವರಿಗೆ ಯಾರಿಗೂ ಗೊತ್ತಿರೋದೇ ಇಲ್ಲ, ಎಲ್ಲ 500 ರೂಪಾಯಿಗೆ ಅಡಿಕೆ ಮಾಡಿದವರು ಇರೋದಿಲ್ಲ. ಆ ಮಾರ್ಜಿನಲ್ ಫಾರ್ಮರ್ಸ್ಗೆ ವರ್ಷದಿಂದ ವರ್ಷಕ್ಕೆ ಅವರ ಆನ್ಯುವಲ್ ಇನ್ಕಮ್ ಎಷ್ಟಿದೆ ಅಂತ ಹೇಳಿದ್ರೆ, ಒಂದು ಫ್ಯಾಮಿಲಿಗೆ 87,000 ಅಂತ ಹೇಳಿ ಇವರು ಕೆಲಸ ಮಾಡಿದ ಡಿಪಾರ್ಟ್ಮೆಂಟ್ ಸ್ಟ್ಯಾಟಿಸ್ಟಿಕ್ಸ್, ಇಂಡಿಯನ್ ಸ್ಟ್ಯಾಟಿಸ್ಟಿಕ್ಸ್ ಡಿಪಾರ್ಟ್ಮೆಂಟ್ ಆಫ್ ಸ್ಟ್ಯಾಟಿಸ್ಟಿಕ್ಸ್ ನವರಿಗೆ ಕೊಟ್ಟ ಫಿಗರ್ಸ್ ನಮ್ಮ ಹತ್ರ ಇದೆ. 79,000 ಇತ್ತು 2016 ಅಲ್ಲಿ. ಪ್ರಾಬಬ್ಲಿ ಇಟ್ ಮೇ ಹ್ಯಾವ್ ರೀಚ್ಡ್ ಅಬೌಟ್ 90,000 ಈಗ. ಅಂದ್ರೆ ಒಟ್ಟು ಮದ್ದು ತಿಂಗಳಿಗೆ 5,000-6,000 ರೂಪಾಯಿ ಹಣ, ಕೃಷಿ ಮಾಡ್ಲಿಕ್ಕೆ ಹಣ ಸಾಕಾಗ್ತಾ ಇದೆ ಅವರಿಗೆ. ಈಗ ಹೇಳಿ ಶ್ರೀಧರಣ್ಣ, 16.5 ಲಕ್ಷ ಕೋಟಿ ರೂಪಾಯಿ ಹಣವನ್ನ ಈ ಸರ್ಕಾರ ಕೃಷಿಕರಿಗೆ ಸಾಲಕ್ಕಾಗಿ ಕೊಟ್ಟದ್ದು ಸರಿಯೋ ತಪ್ಪು ಅಂತ ನೀವು ಹೇಳಬೇಕು. ಕೃಷಿಕರು ಉದ್ಧಾರ ಆಗ್ಬೇಕಾಗಿದ್ರೆ ಇವತ್ತಿನ ಸ್ಥಿತಿಯಲ್ಲಿ ನನಗೆ ಇನ್ನೂ ಒಂದು ಹೆಮ್ಮೆ ಇದೆ. ನಾನು ಕೃಷಿಕರ ಪರವಾಗಿ ಮಾತಾಡ್ಲಿಕ್ಕೆ ಆಥರೈಸ್ಡ್ ಟು ಸ್ಪೀಕ್ ಅಬೌಟ್ ದಿ ಅಗ್ರಿಕಲ್ಚರ್ ಆಂಗಲ್ ಆಫ್ ದಿ ಬಜೆಟ್ ಓನ್ಲಿ ಮಾತಾಡಬೇಕಾದ್ರೆ 85% ಬಡವರು ಇರುವಂತ ಕೃಷಿಕರು ಇರುವಂತ ಇಲ್ಲಿ 16.5 ಲಕ್ಷ ಕೋಟಿ ರೂಪಾಯಿ ಹಣವನ್ನ ಗವರ್ಮೆಂಟ್ ನೇರ ಸ್ಪೆಂಡ್ ಮಾಡೋದಿಲ್ಲ. ಗವರ್ಮೆಂಟ್ ನನಗೆ ಗೊತ್ತಿದ್ದಾಗೆ ಪ್ರಾಬಬ್ಲಿ ಅಬೌಟ್ 2.5 lakhs ಗವರ್ಮೆಂಟ್ ಫ್ರಮ್ ಇಟ್ಸ್ ಓನ್ ಕಿಟ್ ಸ್ಪೆಂಡ್ ಮಾಡ್ತದೆ. ಬಾಕಿ ಅರೌಂಡ್ 15,000 lakh crores ಅನ್ನ ಅದು ಥ್ರೂ ಬ್ಯಾಂಕಿಂಗ್ ಏಜೆನ್ಸಿ ಮೂಲಕ ದೇ ವಿಲ್ ಗಿವ್ ದ ಲೋನ್. ಗವರ್ಮೆಂಟ್ 15 ಲಕ್ಷ ಕೊಡೋದಿಲ್ಲ. ಯಾಕೆಂದ್ರೆ ಗವರ್ಮೆಂಟ್ ನಿಮಗೆ ಗೊತ್ತಿರ್ಬೋದು ಎಷ್ಟು ಕಷ್ಟ. ಇವತ್ತು ನೀವು ಯಾರು ಸರ್ಕಾರವನ್ನು ಬೈಬಾರ್ದು, ವೆದರ್ ಯು ಬಿಲಾಂಗ್ ಟು ಬಿಜೆಪಿ, ಕಾಂಗ್ರೆಸ್ ಆರ್ ಎನಿ ಪಾರ್ಟಿ ಯು ಬಿಲಾಂಗ್, ಬಟ್ ಸರ್ಕಾರ ನಿಮ್ಮದಿದು. ಇದು ಇಟ್ ಡಸಂಟ್ ಬಿಲಾಂಗ್ ಟು ಎನಿ ಒನ್ ಪೊಲಿಟಿಕಲ್ ಪಾರ್ಟಿ. ಕಳೆದ ವರ್ಷ ನಿಮಗೆ ತೊಂದರೆ ಆಗಬಾರ್ದು, ಪಂಡೆಮಿಕ್ಕಿನ ಕಾರಣಕ್ಕಾಗಿ ತೊಂದರೆ ಆಗಬಾರ್ದು ಅಂತ ಹೇಳಿ ಬಜೆಟ್ ಅಲ್ಲಿ 4.5 ಲಕ್ಷ ರೂಪಾಯಿ ಫಿಸ್ಕಲ್ ಡೆಫಿಸಿಟ್ ಅನ್ನ 3.5% ಇಡಬೇಕು ಅಂತ ಹೇಳಿ ಲಿಮಿಟ್ ಮಾಡಿದ್ರು ನಿರ್ಮಲಾ ಸೀತಾರಾಮನ್ ಅವರು 18 ಲಕ್ಷ ಕೋಟಿ ರೂಪಾಯಿಯನ್ನ ಸಾಲ ಮಾಡಿದ್ದಾರೆ. ಇದು ದೊಡ್ಡ ಸಂಗತಿ ಅಂತ ನಿಮಗೆ ಅನ್ಸಲ್ವಾ? ಸರ್ಕಾರ ಎಲ್ಲೆಲ್ಲಿಂದಲೂ ಹಣ ತಕೊಂಡು ಬಂದು 18.5 ಲಕ್ಷ ಕೋಟಿಯನ್ನ ಯಾಕೆ ಸಾಲ ತಕೊಂಡು ಬಂದಿದೆ ಅಂತ ಹೇಳಿದ್ರೆ, ಈ 85% ಆಫ್ ದಿ ಪಾಪ್ಯುಲೇಷನ್ ಯಾರು ಬಡವರು ಅಂತ ಹೇಳಿ ಕೃಷಿಕರಿದ್ದಾರೆ, ಮತ್ತೆ ನಾವು ಹೇಳುವಂತ ಶೋಷಿತರು, ಪೀಡಿತರು, ದಲಿತರು ಅಂತ ಹೇಳುವವರು ಯಾರಿದ್ದಾರೆ, ಅವರ ಕೈಯಲ್ಲಿ ಹಣ ಇಡಬೇಕಂತ ಅನಿವಾರ್ಯ ಅಂತ ಹೇಳುವಂತ ಸ್ಥಿತಿ ಬಂದಿದೆ. ನನಗೆ ಹೆಮ್ಮೆ ಆಗ್ತಾ ಇದೆ. ಇಲ್ಲಿ ಕೃಷಿಗೆ ಅದು ಬೇಡ ಇದು ಬೇಡ ಅಂತ ಯಾರಾದ್ರೂ ಹೇಳೋದಾದ್ರೆ, ಈ ವರ್ಷದ ಗ್ರೋತ್ ಟ್ರಾಜೆಕ್ಟರಿಯನ್ನು ನೀವೇನಾದ್ರೂ ನೋಡಿದ್ರೆ, ಮ್ಯಾನುಫ್ಯಾಕ್ಚರಿಂಗ್ ಸೆಕ್ಟರ್, ಚಾರ್ಟರ್ಡ್ ಅಕೌಂಟೆಂಟ್ಗಳು ತಪ್ಪಿದ್ರೆ ತಿರ್ಬೇಕು, ಪ್ರಾಬಬ್ಲಿ ಇಟ್ ಮೇ ಹ್ಯಾವ್ ಕಮ್ ಡೌನ್ ಬೈ 12%. ಮೈನಿಂಗ್ ಸೆಕ್ಟರ್ ಪ್ರಾಬಬ್ಲಿ ಇಟ್ ಹ್ಯಾಸ್ ಕಮ್ ಡೌನ್ ಬೈ 15%. ಸರ್ವಿಸ್ ಸೆಕ್ಟರ್ ಅದು ಬಹುಶಃ 6-7% ಕಡಿಮೆ ಬಂದಿದೆ. ಈ ವರ್ಷ ದೇಶದ ಇಕಾನಮಿಗೆ ಸ್ವಲ್ಪ ಸೆಂಪ್ಲೆನ್ಸ್ ಆಫ್ ಸ್ಟೆಬಿಲಿಟಿ ವಾಸ್ ಗಿವನ್ ಬೈ ಅಗ್ರಿಕಲ್ಚರ್. ಅಗ್ರಿಕಲ್ಚರ್ ಗ್ರೋತ್ ವಾಸ್ ಪ್ಲಸ್ 3.5%. ನಿಮಗೆ ಹೆಮ್ಮೆ ಆಗಲ್ವಾ? ಓನ್ಲಿ ಸೆಕ್ಟರ್ ವಿಚ್ ಮೇಡ್ ಎ ಪಾಸಿಟಿವ್ ಗ್ರೋತ್ ದಿಸ್ ಇಯರ್ ವಾಸ್ ಅಗ್ರಿಕಲ್ಚರ್ ಸೆಕ್ಟರ್. ಸೊ ಸರ್ಕಾರ 1,49,000 ಅಂತ ನನಗೆ ನೆನಪು. ಫಿಗರ್ಸ್ ಸ್ವಲ್ಪ ಹತ್ರ ಆಗಿದ್ರೆ ನೀವು ಸಹಿಸ್ಕೊಳ್ಳಿ, ಯಾಕಂದ್ರೆ ದಿಸ್ ನಾಟ್ ಎ ಪಾರ್ಲಿಮೆಂಟ್, ಬಾರಿ ಕರೆಕ್ಟ್ ಆಗಿರ್ಬೇಕು ಅಂತ ಏನಿಲ್ಲ ಅಂತ ನಾನು ತಿಳ್ಕೊಂಡಿದ್ದೇನೆ. ಅಷ್ಟು ಹಣವನ್ನ ಕೃಷಿಗಾಗಿ ಮೀಸಲಿಟ್ಟಿದ್ದಾರೆ. ಇನ್ನು ಕೃಷಿಗಿಟ್ಟದ್ರಿಂದಾಗಿ ನಮಗೇನು ಅಂತ ಯಾರು ಕೇಳಬೇಕಾದ ಅಗತ್ಯ ಇಲ್ಲ. ಫಾರ್ ಎಕ್ಸಾಂಪಲ್ ನಿಮಗೆ ಇನ್ನೊಂದು ಹೇಳ್ತೇನೆ, ರೂರಲ್ ಡೆವಲಪ್ಮೆಂಟ್ ಅಂತ ಗ್ರಾಮೀಣ ಅಭಿವೃದ್ಧಿ ಸಚಿವಾಲಯ ಅಂತ ಇದೆ, ಅದು ಬಡವರಿಗೆ ಬರುವಂತದ್ದು. ರೂರಲ್ ಡೆವಲಪ್ಮೆಂಟ್ ಸಮಥಿಂಗ್ ಲೈಕ್ ದಟ್ ಅದನ್ನು ಹೇಳ್ತಾರೆ. ಮತ್ತು ವೆಂಕಯ್ಯ ನಾಯ್ಡು ಅವರಿದ್ರೆ, ಈಗ ಐ ಡೋಂಟ್ ನೋ ಹೂ ಇಸ್ ದ ಮಿನಿಸ್ಟರ್, ತುಂಬಾ ಮಿನಿಸ್ಟರ್ಗಳಿದ್ರೆ ಈಗ ಮಿಸ್ ಆಗ್ಲಿಕ್ಕೆ ಶುರುವಾಗಿದೆ. ಅದಕ್ಕೆ 2.1 lakh crore ಹಣವನ್ನು ಇಟ್ಟಿದ್ದಾರೆ. ಈ ಹಣ ಹೇಗೆ ಖರ್ಚಾಗುತ್ತೆ ಅಂತ ನೋಡಿ. 65,000 rupees ಹಣವನ್ನ ಕಿಸಾನ್ ಸಮ್ಮಾನ್ ಯೋಜನಾ ಅಂತ ಹೇಳುವುದರಲ್ಲಿ ನಿಮಗೆ 6,000 ರೂಪಾಯಿ ಹಣವನ್ನು ಕೊಟ್ಟಿದ್ದಾರೆ. ಈಗ ತುಂಬಾ ಜನ ಪೇಟೆಯಲ್ಲಿ ಇರುವವರು ಹೇಳ್ತಾರೆ, ಕೃಷಿ ಈಗ ಇವರು ಕಾರಲ್ಲೇ ಬರುವವರು, ಇವರೆಲ್ಲರೂ ಕಾರಲ್ಲೇ ಬಂದವರು, AC ಹಾಕಿ ಬಂದವರು, ಸುಮ್ಮನೆ ಯಾರಿಗಾದ್ರೂ ಈ 6,000 ಕೊಡುವುದು ಸರಿಯಾ? ದುಡಿದು ಹಣ ತಗೊಳ್ಬೇಕು ಅಂತ ಹೇಳುವಂತ ಸ್ಥಿತಿ ಇದೆ. ಇದನ್ನ ಸರಿಗೆ ನನಗೆ ಜಾಸ್ತಿ ತುಂಬಾ ಗೊತ್ತಿದೆ. ಅವರು ಪ್ರೊಫೆಸರ್ ಕೂಡ, ನಮ್ಮ ಯಾರು ವೆರಿ ರಿನೌಂಡ್ ಇಕಾನಮಿಸ್ಟ್ ಮಿಲ್ಟನ್ ಫ್ರೀಡ್ಮನ್ ಇರ್ಬೇಕು, ಹೆಲಿಕಾಪ್ಟರ್ ಮನಿ ಅಂತ ಕರೆದರು. ಹೆಲಿಕಾಪ್ಟರ್ ಮನಿ ಅಂದ್ರೆ ಏನು? ತೀರಾ ರಿಸೆಷನ್ ಇರುವಂತ ಸಂದರ್ಭ ಯಾವುದು? ಟಿಪಿಕಲ್ ಇಂಡಿಯನ್ ಇಕಾನಮಿ ಈಗ ತೀರಾ ಮ್ಯಾಕ್ಸಿಮಮ್ ರಿಸೆಷನ್ ಅಲ್ಲಿ ಇರುವಂತ ಸಮಯ. ನೀವೊಂದು ಹೆಲಿಕಾಪ್ಟರ್ ಅಲ್ಲಿ ತುಂಬಾ ಗೋಣಿ ಚೀಲದಲ್ಲಿ 2,000 ರೂಪಾಯಿ ನೋಟುಗಳನ್ನು ತುಂಬಿಸಿಕೊಂಡು ಹೋಗಿ ಒಂದು ಸಂತೆ ಆಗುವ ಜಾಗದಲ್ಲಿ ಬಿಸಾಡ್ಬಿಡಿ. ಸಂತೆ ಆಗುವ ಜಾಗದಲ್ಲಿ ಬಿಸಾಡ್ಬೇಡಿ, 1,000 ಕೋಟಿ ಬಿಸಾಡ್ಬೇಡಿ. ಏನಾಗುತ್ತೆ? ಸರ್ಕಾರಕ್ಕೆ 1,000 ಕೋಟಿ ನಷ್ಟ ಅಂತ ಹೇಳಿದ್ರು ಕೂಡ ಇಂಡೈರೆಕ್ಟ್ಲಿ ಅದು ದೇಶಕ್ಕೆ ಬೆನಿಫಿಟ್ ಆಗುತ್ತೆ. ಯಾಕೆಂತ ಹೇಳಿದ್ರೆ ತೀರಾ ಬಡವರು ಅದನ್ನು ಹಿಡ್ಕೊಳ್ತಾರೆ. ಬಡವರಿಗೆ 1,000 ರೂಪಾಯಿ ಹಣ ಸಿಕ್ಕಿದ್ರೆ ಆ ಹಣವನ್ನು ತಕ್ಷಣ ಹೋಗಿ ಖರ್ಚು ಮಾಡ್ತಾರೆ. ಯಾಕೆಂದ್ರೆ ಅವರಿಗೆ ಶಾರ್ಟೇಜ್ ಆಫ್ ಇನ್ಕಮ್ ಇರುತ್ತೆ. ಅವರ ಏನ್ ಅದಕ್ಕೆ ಹೇಳಿದಪ್ಪ, ದಟ್ ಇಸ್ ಪ್ರೊಪೆನ್ಸಿಟಿ ಟು ಕನ್ಸ್ಯೂಮ್ ಅಂತ ಹೇಳಿದ ನೆನಪು ನನಗೆ. ಅವರು 95% ಅಲ್ಲ, 110% ವರೆಗೆ ಅವರು. ಸರಿಯಾ ಸರ್? ನಿಲ್ಲಿಸ್ಬೇಕಾ? ಸೊ ಈ ಹಿನ್ನೆಲೆಯಲ್ಲಿ ಹೆಲಿಕಾಪ್ಟರ್ ಮನಿ ಅಂತ ಹೇಳಿದ್ರೆ ತದ್ರೂಪವಾಗಿ ಕಿಸಾನ್ ಸಮ್ಮಾನ್ ಯೋಜನೆಯಲ್ಲಿ 65,000 ರೂಪಾಯಿ ಕೊಡ್ತಾ ಇದ್ದಾರೆ. ಈ ವರ್ಷ 1,14,000 ಕೋಟಿ ರೂಪಾಯಿ ಹಣವನ್ನು ನರೇಗಾ ಯೋಜನೆಯಲ್ಲಿ ಹಳ್ಳಿಯಲ್ಲಿ ಕೂಲಿ ಕೆಲಸ ಮಾಡಲಿಕ್ಕೆ ಕೊಟ್ಟಿದ್ದಾರೆ. Again, it will generate demand for the industries, nothing else. ಎಲ್ಲೆಲ್ಲ ನರೇಗಾ ಯೋಜನೆ ಸಕ್ಸಸ್ ಆಗಿದೆ, ಅಲ್ಲೆಲ್ಲ ಹಿಂದುಳಿವರಿನವರ ಮಾರ್ಕೆಟಿಂಗ್, ಅವರ ಸೋಪ್ ವಗೇರೆ ವಗೇರೆ ಮಾರ್ಕೆಟಿಂಗ್ ಜಾಸ್ತಿ ಆಗಿದೆ. ಸೊ ನರೇಗಾ ಯೋಜನೆ ಇರ್ಬೋದು, ಕಿಸಾನ್ ಸಮ್ಮಾನ ಇರ್ಬೋದು, ಏನು ಜಲ ಸಮ್ಮಾನ, ಎಲ್ಲ ಮನೆಗಳಿಗೆ ನಲ್ಲಿ ನೀರು ಕೊಡ್ಲಿಕ್ಕೆ 65,000 ಇರ್ಬೋದು. ಇದು ಎಲ್ಲವೂ ಕೃಷಿಗೆ ಕೊಟ್ಟ ಡೈರೆಕ್ಟ್ ಹಣ, ಡೈರೆಕ್ಟ್ ಕ್ಯಾಶ್ ಟ್ರಾನ್ಸ್ಫರ್ ಏನಿದೆ, ಇದು ಒಟ್ಟು ಇಕಾನಮಿಗೆ ಲಾಭ ಆಗುವಂತ ಸ್ಥಿತಿ. ಹಾಗಾಗಿ ಕೃಷಿಗೆ ಏನು ಸರ್ಕಾರ ಕೊಟ್ಟಿದೆ, ಅಂಡರ್ ದ ಸರ್ಕಮ್ಸ್ಟೆನ್ಸ್, ಇವತ್ತಿನ ಸ್ಥಿತಿಗತಿಯಲ್ಲಿ ದಿಸ್ ಗವರ್ಮೆಂಟ್ ಹ್ಯಾಸ್ ಡನ್ ದಿ ಮ್ಯಾಕ್ಸಿಮಮ್ ಅಂತ ನಾನು ಹೇಳಲಿಕ್ಕೆ ಹೆಮ್ಮೆ ಪಡ್ತಾ ಇದ್ದೇನೆ. ಧನ್ಯವಾದಗಳು.
ಸಂಪನ್ಮೂಲ ವ್ಯಕ್ತಿಗಳು ಭಾರಿ ಉಪಯೋಗದ ವಿಚಾರಗಳು ಹೇಳ್ತಾರೆ. ನರೇಗಾ ಬಹಳ ದೇಶಕ್ಕೆ ಅನುಕೂಲ ಆಗಿದೆ. ನರೇಗಾದಂತ ಇತರ ಉದ್ಯೋಗ ನಿರ್ಮಾಣ ಯೋಜನೆಗಳು ರಾಜ್ಯಗಳ ಮಟ್ಟದಲ್ಲಿ, ತಮಿಳುನಾಡಲ್ಲಿ ಇದೆ, ನಮ್ಮ ಕರ್ನಾಟಕದಲ್ಲಿ ಇದೆ, ಎಲ್ಲ ಇದೆ. ಖಂಡಿತ ಹೌದು. ಯಾಕಂದ್ರೆ ಯಾವ್ದಾದ್ರೂ ಒಂದು ಈ ಗ್ರಾಮೀಣ ಪ್ರದೇಶಕ್ಕೆ ಪೂರಕವಾಗುವ ಯೋಜನೆ ಯಾವ್ದಾದ್ರು ಇದ್ರೆ ಅದು ಉದ್ಯೋಗ ನಿರ್ಮಾಣ ಯೋಜನೆ. ಬಹಳ ಸುಂದರವಾಗಿ ಹೇಳಿದ್ರೆ ನಂತರ ನಾವು ಚರ್ಚೆ ಮಾಡೋಣ. ನಮಗೊಂದು ಸಂತೋಷದ ವಿಚಾರ ಅಂತಂದ್ರೆ ಲಾಲ್ ಗೋಯಲ್ ನಮ್ಮ ಜೊತೆಗಿದ್ದಾರೆ. ತುಂಬಾ ಅನುಭವ ಪಡೆದಂತ ವ್ಯಕ್ತಿ ಅವರು. ಆರ್ಗನ್ ಡೊನೇಷನ್ ಇಂಡಿಯಾ ಫೌಂಡೇಶನ್ ಅಧ್ಯಕ್ಷರು. ಈಗಾಗಲೇ ಅಲ್ಲಿ ಬಂದಿದ್ದಾರೆ. ಅವರು ನಂತರ ತಮ್ಮ ವಿಚಾರಗಳನ್ನು ಮಂಡಿಸಲಿಕ್ಕಿದ್ದಾರೆ. ದಯವಿಟ್ಟು ನಾವೆಲ್ಲ ಇನ್ನೊಮ್ಮೆ ನಮ್ಮ ಕರ್ತಾರದ ಮೂಲಕ ಅವರನ್ನ ಸ್ವಾಗತಿಸೋಣ. ಈಗ ಮುಂದೆ ನಮ್ಮ ವಿಚಾರವನ್ನು ಹಂಚಿಕೊಳ್ಳಿಕ್ಕಿದ್ದಾರೆ ಅವರು ದಯವಿಟ್ಟು ತುಂಬಾ ಅನುಭವಗಳು 10 ನಿಮಿಷದಿಂದ 12 ನಿಮಿಷ ಕೊಟ್ರೆ
ಕಡಿಮೆ ಮಾತಾಡ್ತಾರೆ.
ಸರಿ,
ಥ್ಯಾಂಕ್ ಯು. ನಾನು ಕೃಷ್ಣ ಭಟ್, ಸಣ್ಣ ಮಟ್ಟಿನ ಉದ್ಯಮಿ, ಹಾಗೆ ಸಣ್ಣ ಮಟ್ಟಿನ ಕೃಷಿಕ, ಹಾಗೆ ಜಾಸ್ತಿ ಉದ್ಯಮಗಳ ಮಾತಾಡ್ತೇನೆ. ಸ್ವಲ್ಪ ಅಲ್ಲಿ ಇಲ್ಲಿ ಕೃಷಿಯ ಬಗ್ಗೆ ಟಚ್ ಮಾಡ್ತೇನೆ. I may speak in Kannada as well as English. ಎರಡನ್ನು ಮಿಕ್ಸ್ ಮಾಡಿ. As per this budget is more than with our pandemic. ಅದರ ಹೊತ್ತಿಗೆ ಒಟ್ಟು ಕೊಟ್ಟು ಬಂದಿದೆ ನಮ್ಮ ಬಜೆಟ್. ಆವಾಗಲೇ ಯಾವಾಗ ಈ ಬಜೆಟ್ ಲಾಸ್ಟ್ ಏಪ್ರಿಲ್ ಇಂದ ಶುರುವಾಗಿದೆ ಅಂತ ಹೇಳ್ಬೋದು. ಆವಾಗಲೇ ನಮ್ಮ ಆಗಸ್ಟ್ ಅಲ್ಲಿ ನಮ್ಮ ಫೈನಾನ್ಸ್ ಮಿನಿಸ್ಟರ್ change the definition of MSME depending on the investment as well as the turnover. Ivaga, if the investment is more than 1 crore, less than 1 crore, and turnover is less than 5 crore, it is called as micro industry. Whereas the small industry, investment should not be more than 10 crores and turnover should be less than 50 crores. Whereas medium industry, 50 crore investment and 250 crores turnover. See, first of all, why she has done? See, the industry, it is finding it difficult to graduate from one level to one level. And when it's graduating, there are lot of problems. Main problems from our bureaucracy. Namma babugalu, sorry, we can't say much about our babus or bureaucracy. ಅದೇ ತರ ನಮ್ಮ ಮೋದಿಯವರು ನಮ್ಮ ಇಂಡಿಯನ್ ರ್ಯಾಂಕಿಂಗ್ ನೋಡಿದಾಗ ಇನ್ ದ ಇಂಡೆಕ್ಸ್ ಆಫ್ ಈಸ್ ಆಫ್ ಡೂಯಿಂಗ್ ಬಿಸ್ನೆಸ್ ತುಂಬಾ ಕೆಳಗೆ ಇದ್ದಾರೆ. ಅಂದ್ರೆ ಒಂದು ಬಿಸ್ನೆಸ್ ಶುರು ಮಾಡ್ಬೇಕಂದ್ರೆ ತುಂಬಾ ಪ್ರಾಬ್ಲಮ್ ಇದೆ. ಅದನ್ನು ಮೇಂಟೈನ್ ಮಾಡ್ಬೇಕಾದ್ರೆ ಅಷ್ಟೇ ಕಷ್ಟ ಇದೆ. ಅದನ್ನು ಕ್ಲೋಸ್ ಮಾಡಿರ್ಬೇಕಾದ್ರೆ ಅಷ್ಟೇ ಕಷ್ಟ. ಇದನ್ನು ಕಡಿಮೆ ಮಾಡಬೇಕು ಅಂತ ನಮ್ಮ ಸರ್ಕಾರದ ಮೇನ್ ಪ್ರಶ್ನೆ ಮಾಡ್ತಾ ಇದೆ. ಎಷ್ಟು ಸಕ್ಸಸ್ ಆಗ್ತದ ಇದೆ ಗೊತ್ತಿಲ್ಲ. ಇದಕ್ಕೆ ಮೈನ್ ಪ್ರಾಬ್ಲಮ್ ಅಪೋಸಿಷನ್ ಎಲ್ಲರಿಗಿಂತ ಜಾಸ್ತಿ ಪ್ರಾಬ್ಲಮ್ ಬಂದು ಈಸ್ ಆಫ್ ಡೂಯಿಂಗ್ ಬಿಸ್ನೆಸ್ ಅಂತ ಹೇಳ್ಕೊಂಡು ಎವ್ರಿಥಿಂಗ್ ದೇ ಸೇ ಯು ಡೂ ಇಟ್ ಆನ್ಲೈನ್. Everything you do it online. Apply for the license, you will get it within 10 minutes or 10 days. You will get it provisionally. Online apply madi, you will get the license, but you have to get the signature from that person. To make it effective, you have to get the signature from that person. What is the purpose of digitalization or online this process? Finally, you have to go there, write them, get it done, manage them. This starts from the starting the business. You want to show minimum of 15 to 20 department you have to get the license. So I feel most of your MBA students, can you raise your hands who will start your business among this community? Would you please? ಎಷ್ಟು ಜನ ಇದು ಮಾಡ್ತೀರಿ? ನೀವು MBA ಮಾಡಿದವರು ನಿಮ್ಮದೇ ಬಿಸ್ನೆಸ್ ಶುರು ಮಾಡಬೇಕು ಅಂತ ಆಸೆ ಇರುವರು ಎಷ್ಟು ಜನ ಇದ್ದೀವಿ? ಸರ್, MCom, MBA ಇಂಜಿನಿಯರಿಂಗ್ ಮೇಲೆ ಕೂಡ MCom ನವರು they can do their own ಅಂತ ಸೊಲ್ಯೂಷನ್ ಕಲ್ತಿದ್ರು. Only hardly I can see only few hands. Why so? There's lot of problem. Everything you appear in your rules or budget ಅಲ್ಲಿ ನೋಡೋದು ಇದೆ ಅಷ್ಟು ಕೊಡ್ತಾರೆ ಇಷ್ಟು ಕೊಡ್ತಾರೆ ಅಂತ. They have announced I think 15,700 crores to the MSME sector and 1 lakh crore rupees to the core fund. These are given as the loan to the bank. You have to get up from the bank and you have to pay it. And during the pandemic also, therefore, they will announce the moratorium, 6 months moratorium. ಜನ ಏನು ಯೋಚನೆ ಮಾಡಿದ್ದಾರೆ, ನಮ್ಮ ಪೇಪರ್ ಕೊಡುವ ಅಗತ್ಯವೇ ಇಲ್ಲ. Whatever the loan you have, 20% extra money has given without your request. Only thing is earlier you have to do the request, you have to sign. Here, for non-utilization, not taking the this one now, loan you have to your signature. You can the difference is for not availing the this one. your consent. So all the managers, they approach all the roadies and those who have taken the loan, and they approach the money. And again, all the interest and this one, installment you have to pay it within another 2 years. Fine, it helps a lot for the medium, small, and big industries also. Everybody is enjoying. And I feel almost all the industries they came up to a certain level. Now they are in the break-even line only. That break-even line is the and meanwhile, about the GST also, yes, they have taken some swift steps they have taken. Because of that only we got the collection of 1,20,000 lakh that growth. Because of that, they were digitized. So earlier, ITC, input tax credit, without sales also they used to get it. And I don't know our ex-revenue secretary will explain or it's just impossible. Without doing the business, without purchasing thing, you are getting the ITC benefit. Other than crack money that I was just wondering what is possible. This is just because of the hand in hand with the bureaucracy only. Without that one just impossible. Okay, correct.
Should I answer your question?
Okay. Maybe he may be having some beautiful research and this one. Yeah, what? Then about the labor reforms, our government of India, they wanted to bring along with this farmer reform, they wanted the labor reform, for which they are getting a lot of opposition from the opposition party as well as. On the sudden example, ನಮ್ಮ labor it was a loss in create ಬ್ರಿಟಿಷರು ಎರಡನೇ ಸಿಪಾಯಿಗಳಿಗೆ ಆ ಕಾಲದಲ್ಲಿ ಮಾಡಿದ್ರು ವರ್ಲ್ಡ್ ವಾರ್ ಟೈಮ್ನಲ್ಲಿ ಮಚ್ ಬಿಫೋರ್ ದಟ್ ಇವಾಗ ಒಂದು ರೂಲ್ಸ್ ಇದೆ ಕೆಲಸ ಮಾಡುವಲ್ಲಿ ನಿಮಗೆ 4 ಫೀಟ್ ದೂರದಲ್ಲಿ ಸ್ಪಿಟ್ಟಿಂಗ್ ಬೇಕಂದ್ರೆ ಸ್ಪಿಟ್ ಮಾಡೋದು ಕುಪ್ಪಲಿಕ್ಕೆ ಬೇಕು. This is the rules. Still it is there not to do it. ನಮ್ಮ ಯೂನಿಯನ್ ಹೇಳ್ತಾರೆ ಅದನ್ನು ತೆಗಿಬಾರದು ನೀವು ನಮ್ಮ ಹೊಟ್ಟೆಗೆ ಬಡಿತೀರಿ ಅಂತ. Because of this farm as well as Aadhaar, there's a lot of changes are taking. So ಒಬ್ಬೊಬ್ರು ಒಂದು 3-4 ಗಂಟೆಯಲ್ಲಿ ಕೆಲಸ ಮಾಡ್ಕೊಂಡಿರುವವರು ಈಗ ಸಿಗ್ತಾರೆ. ಒಬ್ಬರು 15 ಕೆಲಸದಲ್ಲಿ ಗವರ್ಮೆಂಟ್ ಜಾಬ್ ಅಲ್ಲಿ ಕೆಲಸ ಮಾಡಿದ್ದಾರೆ ಅಂತ ಮಾಡ್ಕೊಂಡಿದ್ರು ಅಂತ ಆಧಾರದಲ್ಲಿ ಸಿಗ್ತದೆ. ಒಂದೇ ಆಧಾರ್ ನಂಬರ್ ಇದೆ, ಅವರ PF ಹೋಗುವಾಗ ಒಂದೇ ನಂಬರ್ ಅಪ್ಲಿಕೇಶನ್ ಬರ್ತದೆ, ನಡೆಯುವುದಿಲ್ಲ. ಒನ್ ಬೈ ಒನ್ ಮೂವಿಂಗ್ ಫೋರ್ ದಟ್ ಒಂದು ಜನರಿಂದಲೂ ಅದು ಒಪ್ಪೋಸಿಷನ್ ಬರ್ತಾರೆ, ಸರ್ಕಾರ ಇದು ಒಪ್ಪೋಸಿಷನ್ ಬರ್ತಾರೆ, ಅವರ ಬೆನಿಫಿಟ್ ನಮಗೆ ಬರ್ತಾರೆ. ಇನ್ನು ಅಬೌಟ್ ದ ಮೀಡಿಯಂ ಸ್ಕೇಲ್ ಆರ್ SME ಸೆಕ್ಟರ್ ನ ನಿಮ್ಮ ಪರ್ಸೆಂಟ್ ದ GDP ಗ್ರೋತ್ಗೆ ನಾವು ಹೇಳ್ತೇವೆ. At present is 30% of our GDP is from MSME sector, and 90% of the enterprises are MSME sector only. ದೊಡ್ಡವರು ಇರುವುದು 10% only. So the whole employment, GDP, everything is generated by the MSME. See, we are not asking for any subsidy or government. We ask for only one thing: ease of doing business. ನಿಮ್ಮ bureaucracy system correct ಆಗಬೇಕು, ಬಾಬುಗಳು ಕರೆಕ್ಟ್ ಆಗಬೇಕು. ತಪ್ಪು ಮಾಡಿದ್ರೆ ತಪ್ಪು ಮಾಡಿ ಒಬ್ಬೊಬ್ಬರಿಗೆ ಒಂದೊಂದು ಲೆವೆಲ್ ಇರ್ತದೆ, ಆ ಕರೆಕ್ಟ್ ಅನ್ನು ಮಾಡಿ ಕರೆಕ್ಟ್ ಆಗಿ ಮಾಡಿ ಅಂತ ಹೇಳಿ. ಈಗ ಇನ್ನು ಇದಕ್ಕೆ ಬರುವಾಗ ನೆಕ್ಸ್ಟ್ ನಮಗೆ ಬರುತ್ತೆ ಯಾಕೆ ಆಯ್ತು ಹೇಗಾಯ್ತು ಅಂತ ಹೇಳುವಾಗ ಪ್ರಾಬ್ಲಮ್ ಇನ್ ದ ಎಜುಕೇಶನ್ ಸಿಸ್ಟಮ್. ಎಜುಕೇಶನ್ ಸಿಸ್ಟಮ್ ನಮ್ಮೆಲ್ಲ ಬರ್ತದೆ. ಬಿಫೋರ್ ದ ಟಚ್ ಅಪ್ ಸಮಥಿಂಗ್ ಅಬೌಟ್ ಅವರ್ ಅಗ್ರಿಕಲ್ಚರ್. ಆಮೇಲೆ ಅಗ್ರಿಕಲ್ಚರ್ ಆಲ್ಸೋ ಈಗಿನ ಅಗ್ರಿಕಲ್ಚರ್ ಇವರು ಹೇಳಿದ ಎಲ್ಲಾ ಸಾಯಿಗಳು ಹೆಚ್ಚಿನವರು ಕ್ರೀಮಿ ಸೊಸೈಟಿಯಿಂದ ಅಗ್ರಿಕಲ್ಚರ್ಗೆ ಹೋಗುದು. ಆ ಬಡತನ ಈಗ ಫಸ್ಟ್ ಆಫ್ ಆಲ್ ಅಗ್ರಿಕಲ್ಚರಿಸ್ಟ್ ಅಂದ್ರೆ ಯಾರು ಅಂತ ನನಗೆ ಅರ್ಥ ಆಗ್ತಿಲ್ಲ, ಫಾರ್ಮರ್ ಅಂದ್ರೆ ಯಾರು ಅಂತ ಅರ್ಥ ಆಗ್ತಾ ಇಲ್ಲ. annual turnover of the income 80 crore ಇರುವ ಫಾರ್ಮರ್ ವೆದರ್ ಹಿ ನೀಡ್ಸ್ ದ ಸಬ್ಸಿಡಿ ಫ್ರಮ್ ದ ಗವರ್ಮೆಂಟ್. ನಾನು ಹೇಳ್ತೇನೆ, ನಾನು ಅಗ್ರಿಕಲ್ಚರಿಸ್ಟ್, ಒಂದು 10 ಪಂಪ್ ಸೆಟ್ ಇದೆ, ನಾನು ನಾಟ್ ಪೇಯಿಂಗ್ ಎನಿ ಎಲೆಕ್ಟ್ರಿಸಿಟಿ ಬಿಲ್. 24 ರನ್ ಮಾಡ್ತಾ ಇದೆ, ಸರಿಯಾ ತಪ್ಪ ನನಗೆ ಗೊತ್ತಿಲ್ಲ. ಅಂಡ್ ಟು ಗೆಟ್ ದ ಕನೆಕ್ಷನ್ ಆಲ್ಸೋ ನಾರ್ಮಲಿ ತುಂಬಾ ಪ್ರಾಬ್ಲಮ್ ಇದೆ. ಐ ಗಾಟ್ ದ ಕನೆಕ್ಷನ್. ಹೇಗೆ ಮೊದಲು ಹೇಳಿದ್ದು ನನ್ನ ಕನೆಕ್ಷನ್ ಇದೆ, ಅಕ್ರಮ ಕನೆಕ್ಷನ್ ಇದೆ, ನೀವು ರೆಗ್ಯುಲೈಸ್ ಮಾಡಿ ಅಂತ ಅಪ್ಲೈ ಮಾಡಿದ್ರೆ. ಬಟ್ ನಮ್ಮ ಬಾಬುಗಳ ಸಿಸ್ಟಮ್ ಅನ್ನು, ಬ್ಯೂರೋಗಳ ಸಿಸ್ಟಮ್ ಅನ್ನು ಐ ಆಮ್ ಟೆಲಿಂಗ್, ಇಫ್ ಯು ವಾಂಟ್ ದ ಕನೆಕ್ಷನ್ ಯು ಹ್ಯಾವ್ ಟು ಸ್ಪೆಂಡ್ ಮಿನಿಮಮ್ 50,000 to 1 lakh rupees to get the ಅಕ್ರಮ ಕನೆಕ್ಷನ್. We don't spend it all. ಅದು ಸಕ್ರಮ ಮಾಡ್ತಾರೆ. ಬಾಯಿಲೆ ನಾವು ಬೈದ್ರು ನಮ್ಮಲ್ಲಿ ಕನೆಕ್ಷನ್ ಕೊಡ್ತಾರೆ. This is how the things are working. In again, ಈಗ ಶ್ರೀಮಂತರಿಗೆ ಇವರಿಗೆ ಎಲೆಕ್ಟ್ರಿಸಿಟಿ ಫ್ರೀ. ಪಂಜಾಬ್ ಅಲ್ಲೇ ಫಾರ್ಮಸಿ ಅವ್ರು ಡ್ಯಾಮ್ ಎನಿ ಎಲೆಕ್ಟ್ರಿಸಿಟಿ ಬಿಲ್ ನೀರಿಗೆ ಟ್ಯಾಕ್ಸ್ ಕೊಟ್ಟಿಲ್ಲ. ಎಲ್ಲ ಡ್ಯಾಮ್ಗಳು ಅಲ್ಲೇ ಇದೆ. ಯಾವುದು ಪಡೆದೆ ಅವ್ರು ಹಣ ಕಂಪರ್ಟ್ ಮಾಡಿದೆ. ಅಗೇನ್ ಗೋಸ್ ಫ್ರಮ್ ಎಲ್ಲಿಂದ ಹಣ ಹೋಗುದು? ದೂರ ದೂರ ರಿಲಯನ್ಸ್ ಅಂಬಾನಿಗಳಿಂದ ಹೋಗುದು. ಇಂಡಿಯಾದ GDP 20% GDP ಒಬ್ಬರಿಂದ ಅದರಿಂದ ಬರ್ತದೆ, ರಿಲಯನ್ಸ್ ಬರ್ತದೆ. ಈಗ ಅವರನ್ನು ಅವರ ಟವರ್ಗಳನ್ನು ಮಾಡಿ ಇವರು ನಮ್ಮವರು ನಮ್ಮ ಫಾರ್ಮರ್ಸ್ ಇದು ಮಾಡಿದ್ದಾರೆ. ಈಗ ಅದರ ಮೇಲೆ ಅವರಿಗೆ ಸಾಲ ಜಾಸ್ತಿ ಕೊಡ್ಬೇಕು, ಹಣ ಕೇಳಬಾರ್ದು. ಸಿಬ್ಬಾರ್ದಲ್ಲಿ ಒಂದು ರೇಟಿಂಗ್ ಬರಬಾರ್ದು. ಸಿಬ್ಬಾರ್ದು ಮೇನ್ ಇಶ್ಯೂಸ್ ಇದೇ. ಫಾರ್ಮರ್ಸ್ ಇಲ್ಲಿರೋದು ಇಲ್ಲೇ 2 ಎಕರೆ 3 ಎಕರೆ ಜಮೀನು ತಕೊಂಡು ಹೋಗಿ, ಕರ್ನಾಟಕದಲ್ಲಿ ಅವರು 100 ಎಕರೆ ಜಾಗ ತಕೊಂಡು ಕೃಷಿ ಮಾಡ್ತಾರೆ. ಇಲ್ಲಿ 2 ಎಕರೆ ಮಾಡಿದ ಜಾಗದಲ್ಲಿ ಅಗೇನ್ ಕಾಸ್ಟ್ ಆಫ್ ದಟ್ ನಮಗೆ ಮ್ಯಾನುಫ್ಯಾಕ್ಚರಿಂಗ್ ಕಾಸ್ಟ್ ಸಾಕಾಗುವುದಿಲ್ಲ. ವಿ ಕಾಂಟ್ ಸೆಲ್ಲಿಗೆ ಪ್ರಾಡಕ್ಟ್ ನಮಗೆ ಸರಿಯಾದ ಬೆಲೆ ಸಿಗದೆ. ಇದು ಕಾಮನ್ ಫಾರ್ಮರ್ಸ್ ನ ಒಂದು ಪ್ರಶ್ನೆ, ದೊಡ್ಡ ಪ್ರಶ್ನೆ ಮಾರ್ಕ್ ಯಾವ ರೀತಿಯಲ್ಲಿ ಆಗ್ತದೆ ಅಂತ. ನನಗೆ ಮಂಗಳೂರಿಗೆ if I want to get a 1 kg of wheat from Punjab, it is 30% costlier than the wheat I am getting from Canada or Australia. Why so? That the labor rate is very high. ಯಾಕೆ ಆಗ್ತಾ ಇದೆ ಅಂದ್ರೆ ಸೌತ್ ಸಮಥಿಂಗ್ ಪ್ರಾಬ್ಲಮ್ಸ್ ಫಿಶ್ ಇದೆ. ಕರೆಕ್ಟ್ ಆಗ್ಬೇಕು. ಎಲ್ಲಿ ನಿಮಗೆ ಕಡಿಮೆ ಬೆಳೆಯುತ್ತದ, ಎಲ್ಲಿ ನಿಮಗೆ ಕಡಿಮೆ ಖರ್ಚಿನಲ್ಲಿ ಯು ಕ್ಯಾನ್ ಪ್ರೊಡ್ಯೂಸ್, ದೇರ್ ಓನ್ಲಿ ಯು ಹ್ಯಾವ್ ಟು ಪ್ರೊಡ್ಯೂಸ್. ದಿಸ್ ಇಸ್ ದ ಗ್ಲೋಬಲೈಸೇಷನ್ ಅಂಡ್ ಪ್ರೈವೇಟೈಸೇಷನ್ ಮೇನ್ ಪ್ರಿನ್ಸಿಪಲ್. ನೀವು ಎಲ್ಲಿ ಕಡಿಮೆ ಆಗುತ್ತೆ ಅದನ್ನು ತಕೊಂಡು ಕರೆಕ್ಟ್ ಆಗುತ್ತೆ. ಇನ್ನು ಜನರಲ್ ಪಾವರ್ಟಿ ಅಂತ ಹೇಳಿದ್ರೆ ಇಟ್ಸ್ ನಾಟ್ ದ ಪಾವರ್ಟಿ ಅಲೋನ್. ಪಾವರ್ಟಿಗೆ ನಾವು ಸರ್ ನಮ್ಮ ದಕ್ಷಿಣ ಕನ್ನಡದಲ್ಲಿ ಪಾವರ್ಟಿ ಅನ್ನೋ ಶಬ್ದವೇ ಇಲ್ಲ. You can't find a single person who is below the poverty line. ನಮ್ಮ ಇಂಡಿಯನ್ poverty line. ಇನ್ನು ಕ್ವಾಲಿಟಿ ಆಫ್ ದ ಲೈಫ್, ದೇರ್ ಈಸ್ ಎ ಕ್ವಾಲಿಟಿ ಆಫ್ ಲೈಫ್ ಅಲ್ಲಿ ನಮ್ಮ ಕ್ವಾಲಿಟಿ ತುಂಬಾ ಡಿಫರೆನ್ಸ್ ಇದೆ. ವೇರಸ್ ಕಂಪೇರ್ಡ್ ಟು ವೆಸ್ಟರ್ನ್ ಕಂಟ್ರೀಸ್. ವೈ ಇಟ್ಸ್ ಮೇನ್ ಇಸ್ ಎಜುಕೇಶನ್. ಇನ್ನು ಎಜುಕೇಶನ್ ಅಲ್ಲಿ ಎಲ್ಲರೂ ಹೇಳ್ತಾರೆ ಕಮರ್ಷಿಯಲ್ ಎಜುಕೇಶನ್ ಅಂತ ಬರ್ತಾರೆ. ಅಂಡ್ ಅವರ್ ನ್ಯಾಷನಲ್ ಎಜುಕೇಶನ್ ಪಾಲಿಸಿ ಅಂತ ನಮ್ಮ ಮೋದಿ ಅವರು ಇಂಟ್ರೊಡ್ಯೂಸ್ ಮಾಡಿದ್ದಾರೆ. Who is going to implement is very difficult to understand and very difficult to implement also. ಎಲ್ಲಿ ನೀಡಿದ ಅದರ ಪ್ರಕಾರವಾಗಿ ಎಜುಕೇಶನ್ ಕಲಿಸಬೇಕು. ಯಾವ್ದು ಅಗತ್ಯ ಅದನ್ನು ಮಾಡಬೇಕು. ನಮ್ಮನಿಗೆ ನೀವು ಕಂಪ್ಯೂಟರ್ ಸೈನ್ಸ್ ಬಿ ಮಾಡಿದವನಿಗೆ ಗೆಟ್ ದ ಸಾಫ್ಟ್ವೇರ್ ಜಾಬ್, ದ ಕಂಪನಿ has to give another 1 month or 2 months training in the same field. That is the level of our education. When he pass out of the EE college, he doesn't know how to do the coding and other things. No, so not only in the computer section, but the section you may break out to the tradition after the started. Even over M.Com over bank challenge ಮಾಡಿ ಬರೆಯೋದು ಗೊತ್ತಿಲ್ಲ. ಕ್ರೆಡಿಟ್ ಅಂದ್ರೆ ಡೆಬಿಟ್ ಅಂದ್ರೆ ಬ್ಯಾಲೆನ್ಸ್ ಅಂದ್ರೆ ಯಾವ ರೀತಿಯಲ್ಲಿ ಬರ್ಬೇಕು, ಯಾವ್ದನ್ನ ಮ್ಯಾಚ್ ಮಾಡಬೇಕು ಗೊತ್ತಿಲ್ಲ ಅಂದ್ರೆ ನಮಗೆ ದಿಸ್ ವಾಟ್ ಐ ಆಮ್ ಫೈಂಡಿಂಗ್ ಇಟ್ ಇನ್ ಇಂಟರ್ವ್ಯೂಗಳಲ್ಲಿ ಇರ್ಬೋದು. ಹೆಚ್ಚಿನವರಿಗೆ ಗೊತ್ತಿರೋದಿಲ್ಲ. ಇವನ್ MP ಗಳಿಗೆ ಫಸ್ಟ್ ಆಫ್ ಆಲ್ ವಾಟ್ ಈಸ್ ಮ್ಯಾನೇಜ್ಮೆಂಟ್ ಅಂತ ಕೇಳ್ತಾರೆ. ಫಸ್ಟ್ ದಟ್ಸ್ ಜನರಲ್ ಆನ್ಸರ್ ಇಸ್ ವಾಟ್ಸ್ ದ this one definition of management is art of doing the business, or the art of doing the thing. ಈಗ ಒಂದು ವಿಷಯ ಮುಗಿಸ್ತೇನೆ. So we have to, I feel you have to increase the education system correct ಮಾಡಿ ಏನು ಮಾಡಿದ್ರೆ ನಮ್ಮ ಎಲ್ಲಾ ಪ್ರಾಬ್ಲಮ್ ಸಾಲ್ವ್ ಆಗ್ತದೆ. ಹೇಗೆ ಅದಕ್ಕೆ ಎಜುಕೇಶನ್ ನಾವು ಕಾಲೇಜಿಗೆ ಅಥವಾ ಸಬ್ಸಿಟ್ಯೂಟ್ ಲೆಕ್ಚರ್ ಆಗ್ತದೆ. Again, if you give the government colleges the standard one is ಯಾವುದು ನೀಡಿದೆ ಅದನ್ನು ನೋಡ್ಬಿಟ್ಟು ಮಾಡಬೇಕು. This one step he has taken, I think will be our present government may be able to succeed in that, or if we achieve that, in all the sectors, we will be sane. Thank you very much for giving that. I'll take a moment more. Thank you. Now, Mr. Kapil Rai is not there. Then, can we have? Yeah, right. So, as an alternative arrangement, we are live anyway. Because of that. Therefore, I am requesting Mr. Lal Goel to present the issue.
Good afternoon. Am I audible? Okay. Good afternoon to you all. My special thanks to Mr. Vivek Alva, the Managing Trustee of Alva's Foundation, as well as to Dr. Peter Fernandez, Principal AIET, Dr. Kurian, Principal, Dr. Charlotte Medonsa, HOD, MBA. I was given a topic to talk about Union Budget 2021 for hospitality and tourism sector. A budget is telling your money where to go instead of wondering where it went. Is it okay? Shall I continue? Can you just send me a message if I am okay? Yes, please.
Sir, you're not audible. You are not audible. Just 2 minutes.
Okay.
2 minutes.
Okay. Okay. I have not muted. Yes, now. Yes, please. Yes.
Sir, check whether your audio.
Yes, can just inform me. Am I audible now?
No. They're checking it up.
So there is a problem that side. I am not muted myself. I am not muted.
1 minute, sir. Please hold on. Yeah, it's again call.
Yeah, I am already talking to you. Somebody else is also calling.
Hello, sir.
Yeah.
The audio is not being heard. So what I'll do is, hello, can you hear, sir?
Yeah, I can hear you well. Not on that.
Hello, sir. Can you come to the phone?
Yeah, I am on phone right now. I am on phone.
I can't hear, sir. Hello.
Can you hear me now? I am talking on phone to you.
The phone, no, sir. Phone.
I am talking to you on phone, Dr. Kurian.
Yeah. So what I'll do is I'll keep you in loudspeaker here only, sir.
Okay.
You have to be loud.
And no problem. I will talk loudly.
Yes. Go
It-
on, sir. Go on, sir.
Yeah. Once you will tell me, then I will speak loudly.
Yes, it's touched.
Yeah.
On.
Yeah, is it okay now?
Yeah.
Okay?
Yeah.
Okay. Shall I start?
Yes, sir.
Okay. Good afternoon to you all. My special thanks to Mr. Vivek Alva, Managing Trustee, Alva's Foundation, Dr. Peter Fernandez, Principal AIET, Dr. Kurian, Principal, Alva's College, Dr. Charlotte Medonsa, HOD, MBA, all my co-panelists, and all the professors, teachers, lecturers, and all the students. Sorry, I have to be online because my program was up to 12 o'clock, and I'm thankful to the organizing committee for giving me chance to speak online. A budget is telling you the money where to go instead of wondering where it went. And I was giving a topic that budget 2021 for hospitality and tourism sector. It is unfortunate that the hospitality and tourism sector that have been the worst hit during the pandemic, which was unfortunately we all faced, not only India, but all over the world, has given nothing has been mentioned in this budget 2021. Although Finance Minister, Ms. Sitaraman has mentioned 6 pillars, but there was no mentioning about the hospitality and tourism industry. As you all know, the worst was suffered by this industry only. The day the lockdown started, everything was shut, whether it was air traffic, whether it's a rail transport, motor transport, everything. And the worst sufferer was the hospitality industry and the tourism industry. Now, I would like to just highlight what the center has done in this budget. The center has slashed the budgetary allocation for the Ministry of Tourism by 19%, from rupees 2,500 crore, that is 2,500 crores in 2020 to 2021, but to rupees 2026.77 crore this year. The budget has allocated rupees 1,088.03 crore for development of tourism infrastructure for financial year 2021-22, compared to rupees 1,655, that is 1,655 crores last fiscal. So you can see the worst hit industry in the entire world was the tourism and hospitality industry. But what this budget has done is they have slashed the budget in this year. We understand that because this is a medical emergency, it was everywhere in the world. But what the government has done, they have not done anything for this particular sector. If you see, they are charging the same rate of interest from what other industries are paying. They have not covered this in the infrastructure sector. Otherwise, the rate of interest would have gone down. I can give you an example of UK. When their lockdown was, that they have unlocked the country, the first thing they have done is they have asked people to eat in the restaurant, and that up to £10 per person, if anybody is eating, he is getting 50% discount. It means 50% has been money is to be paid by the government to that restaurant fellow. So the restaurant business was doing well. Similarly, for other small or medium hotels, resorts, inns, and those who are providing the bed and breakfast lodges, they have given the salaries to those who are appointing them, but they could not afford. So 60 to 80%, in UK it was 80% of the salary the persons were paid by their government. But our government, we were expecting, the industry was expecting in this particular budget that at least somewhere they should mention, because as you know, that main thing in our country, that 10% of the GDP is contributed by this particular industry, and it employs 9% of the workforce, and there was nothing. The total employees in this particular sector are about 70 million, and about 35 to 40 million have to lose the job. But there is no package, and everybody was expecting that this budget will definitely give some roadmap for this particular industry, which has suffered the worst. But nothing is there. Although there was a package initially, I still remember I wrote an article somewhere in the end of March where I said that the government of India should give at least 10% package, the stimulus package of the GDP. Within a week's time, I found there was a news that 10% package was given on the GDP. But when the fine prints were read, the total effect was approximately 1%. So the thing is, unless the government will not come out with a stimulus package, it is not possible for this particular industry, because as per the experts' opinion, this industry will take at least 2-3 years more to recover, to come to the position where they were pre-COVID era. And this is because like this week only, in Monday, the Maharashtra government closed all the functions, all the meetings, etc. Now, who is going to be the main sufferer? The hotels, the resorts, or those who are providing these types of services. But it is also required. But when you are closing this, I think the duty of the government is to come out and say, come out and give some packages to this particular industry. So this particular budget, if you will see, it is very disappointing. Yes, in one field, they have increased the allocation, and that field is that they have put the publicity fund from rupees 590 crores last physical to rupees 668.70 crores in this financial year of 2021-22. Out of 668.72 crores allocated towards promotion and publicity, rupees 524.02 crores is for the overseas market, and 144.70 crores has been kept for domestic tourists. Now tell me, you are increasing the budget for the foreign publicity, but when the flights are not operating, when the international tourist is not coming, how you expect that this industry is going to be benefited by advertising, giving advertisement abroad for the Indian tourism? That is, I think, a miscalculation by the Ministry of Finance. So we can very well see, although we all understand it was an emergency situation, but it was emergency for everyone. And today, to raise the funds in India is very easy. We have seen in the Mandir donation, Ram Mandir donation, within no time, although the project was of 1,100 crore, within no time, by 13th February of this month, we have collected the official figures which have been listed on the Google is 1,500 crore. So when the government, not the government, but the agencies can collect that much amount for a temple, why not the government has taken an initiative, ask the donations for the name of COVID, so that they would have collected at least 5 to 10,000 crores, which they would have distributed to those industries which are really sick. So this is the situation as far as the tourism industry is concerned. But there was a lots of other opportunities which have been lost. I can tell you, like the functions, they have started when they have come out with the unlock down 2, 1, 3. They said that their functions can be organized in a hall where the limit was kept 50. Now, without applying their mind, they have not seen that the hall is of a small size or big size. There are halls which can accommodate 2 to 5,000 people, and you are allowing only 50. That should to be corrected. Still, that limit is being kept in many of the states of 200, which is wrong. Government should take the expert's opinion. It should be the hall size wise, whether if the hall is big, you can have more persons to accommodate. So there are few lacunas, although we must not always criticize the government. This budget overall, as per the reviews, as per the stock exchange, they have given a thumbs up, and that's why the Sensex has gone up. But I would like to tell few more things. Because I am doing this media conference with Lal Goel every day. And in this media conference, I have done the work even for other industries. But before that, I would like to inform you that in India, the total loss which this hotel industry faced is to the tune of rupees 620 crores, which has not been provided anywhere in this budget. Now, when this is the situation, and in 2019, the foreign exchange earned by this industry alone was to the tune of $30 billion, which is not a small amount. When so much amount has been given by this industry, why this industry was not even mentioned once in the Honorable Finance Minister's speech? That is a bit thing which has given pain to all of us. Now, I would like to mention, although it's not my purview today, my topic is to restrict, but I have asked the organizer, can I mention, because I have done 2 shows, one Budget 2021 for education and Budget 2021 for education, and one more I have done. But first I will take the education. In education, the new education policy, which was released only on 30th of July 2020, it was clearly mentioned that 6% of the GDP will be given. But what we have seen, we have seen only 2.3% of the GDP. When you have released a particular policy in 2020, after the pandemic has already hit, why you have mentioned in that 6% of the GDP, in this budget, the allocation is only 2.3%. Similarly, for the railway budget, everybody is so happy about the railway budget. But if you read the fine prints, the railway budget is basically for those states which are going for the polls. I can tell you the figures. The 63,000 crores for the Chennai Metro, that is Tamil Nadu, which is going for the elections very soon, as well as 40,932 crores for laying new railway lines in Tamil Nadu only. So more than 1 lakh crores have been allocated for Tamil Nadu because they are going for the elections. The West Bengal, which is again going for the elections, they have allotted more than 50,000 crores in this budget. They have allotted about 2,000 crores for Kochi Metro Railway. But what about Punjab? What about those states which are not going for elections? Are they not states for India? I think this budget is also motivated bit politically, but yes, it has happened with all the governments, and previous governments also used to do. So this government has also done the same thing. But anyways, I will only say budget is good for all other sectors, medical sectors, etc. Although, if we will see the medical sector also, the vaccinations plan which is going on, all the vaccines are okay. I was told that my time is out. No problem. I am going to stop here. Only I will say the overall budget is good for the public at large, but for this particular industry, this budget is not at all up to the mark. I can only say this. And once again, thank you very much. And thank you, and a special thanks because you are hearing so patiently. Thank you very much.
So thank you, Mr. Goel. Let us move on to the next resource person now. We have Mr.
Respected judges, sir, respected panelists, management, faculty, staff and students of Alvas, and the guests. This year's budget was good in a way that all were expecting some cess to come, especially the COVID cess, which didn't come. All were expecting, every government has the habit of introducing some cess or other every year. So this year there was no COVID cess. In that aspect, we can say it was really good. But if you go down at the last part of the budget, which you talked about customs duty, the customs duty is on imports. For the students I'm trying to learn, customs duty is on imports, what India imports. On this import, certain items, the customs duty was reduced, but it was substituted by an agriculture infrastructure development cess. So the government continued with the cess. The ultimate effect is that the common man is not suffering because the customs duty is reduced. But cess is an aspect which goes only to the central government. The customs duty is shared between the center and the state. So in this aspect, what happened? The government took control of certain funds to themselves, and through them they would pass it on to the cess to the individual states in case of agriculture development. Since there are more students here, what is our financial year? Students, 1st April to 31st March every year. Once 31st March is over, we start filing our income tax returns, GST returns, all those things. There are various last dates. For example, 31st March means the first last date comes on 31st July. I'm not talking about the COVID year, which there's a lot of extensions per day. Next, it goes up to September. Then we have October, one more date. And then for belated returns, if you are not filed even by that time, you have got time to the 31st March of subsequent year. For example, if your year end is 31st March 21, then you have got time to file the 31st March 22 for the returns of 31st March 21. Now all that has been reduced by 3 months, and it's come down to 31st December. So for example, if you have to file your returns for 31st March 21, it would be 31st December 21 itself. And there are various notices which are issued by the various departments, income tax department now. All that has been reduced by 3 months, and it has come, everything is come to 31st March, 31st December is the last day. What our office inferred from this is, because the GST returns also, majority of those have come to 31st December, all the last days. World over, the financial year is always the calendar year. That is 1st January to 31st December. Only in India and certain countries, it goes from 1st April to 31st March. So what happens is, when we have a non-resident earning some income abroad in India, he gets taxed on his foreign income also. Correlating that, because there is a system called as double taxation avoidance agreement. So if you're taxed in that country, you need not be taxed in this country. So whatever the 3 months is always coming as a reconciliation or a proportionate kind of income we had to declare, or this man had to declare in his country, depending on his status. So that is brought to come in line with the world over. I think this is going to happen in next 2 or 3 years. I think we should be having the calendar year as our financial year. I'm restricting my only to the finance part, but I had a few forums where I attended. So I thought I'll put one particular issue. I found one point in the budget, that is seaweed cultivation. You might be thinking what this CA finance man is talking about seaweed cultivation. But I thought, since India has a coastline, especially Karnataka has a coastline of about 350 kilometers. If you take the islands, or it's much more, it's around 490 kilometers. India has a coastline of 8,100 kilometers. This time, 3,000 crores has been allocated for seaweed cultivation. And it is in Tamil Nadu, one place which has been given a park, a seaweed park has been set up there. What I'm trying to see, I just made a study, and we find that South Korea has a global market share of 33%. Indonesia has 30% of the global market of seaweed. India has 2%. See our coastline. South Korea has a coastline of 2,400 kilometers, and they are having 33% of the market. Indonesia, of course, because they are islands, they are about 50,000 kilometers, can leave it. But this has not been done. So I took it up with our chamber president also, I think it was, and on other 2 forums, because I got it done. Since we are a coastal, South Canara is coastal, our fishermen should take up this. Many years back, maybe 2006, I think, when I've been to Italy, I've seen this. They just go about a few knots into the sea and they start the cultivation there, especially the mussels and all this thing. We have got a huge scope for that. We should, and I'm telling this on this audience because we have panelists here, plus we have a lot of students whose parents might be entrepreneurs, should take this up. And maybe we should have a delegation which goes up to, presents a project report, goes up to Tamil Nadu, sees this park, how it is, and try to introduce it to Mangalore and other coastal belts. We had a few businessmen here. I think they have already left, some are there. Just for your knowledge, when the department, the income tax department, comes and has a search and seizure, what it is called in simple, Mr. Devrat is having a smile. He has been doing this all through his career, I think. Okay, so when they come to your house or a business premises and has a search, you have to file your returns. If you have filed it, you have to go back up to 6 years. So after 6 years, the department can open your file. So suppose it is 31/3/21 they enter by March, they can go back up to 6 years to see what income you have evaded. From 1/4/21 onwards, this has been changed. Instead of 6 years, it has been made 3 years. So this is a very good aspect we saw from the budget. But they can go back up to 10 years if in one particular year your income evaded is 50 lakhs and more. And even that, the 50 lakhs should be relatable to an asset which is existing now. So in that aspect, it is a very good change that has been done. Next, you would have heard of faceless assessment. This is again for the students. What happens is when the income tax officer calls a businessman to submit his accounts, it's all through faceless. It is on the We just exchange mails. The officer asks for something, we give him. And we don't know who the officer is. He will be somebody sitting anywhere in the country. It is all faceless. This is mainly brought in to reduce interaction between the SSC and the officer, so that the corruption is brought down. Now, this faceless assessment was there up to a commissioner. First, what happens is you have appearance before the income tax officer or the state commissioner. You lose your case, or you can go to the higher next level is commissioner appeals. So it was going up to there in the last budget. This year, it has gone one step ahead. It has gone up to the ITAT, that's the Income Tax Appellate Tribunal. If you are not satisfied with your appeal proceedings with the commissioner, next level is the ITAT. Now, this also has been made faceless. And I think the next step to what happened is the judiciary could get faceless, because there are certain apps. There are certain apps which you can put it and you get 3D image. You would be seeing 3D image of the judge sitting there, and judge would be seeing you as well as the 3D image. All these developments are taking place. And I think somewhere in the budget I read, there's a national translation policy which is coming in. So if I argue my case in Kannada, the officer there, if he wants to hear it in English, he can hear it in English. Similarly, when he speaks English, automatic online translation happens, I can hear it in Kannada. So there is a national translation policy being brought in. I think these are aspects which students should learn, because everything is online. And people of our generation who are 50 plus are a bit slow on online. The way you all students use your app and do Amazon purchase and all these things, I don't think it's possible so fast for us. I got something. Okay, no, I'll just throw one point about since all talked about bad points, I thought good points. But I thought one negative point, not of the budget, of the bureaucrats like Mr. Krishna Bhatt. The implementation is pathetic. Not in this budget, I'm talking about any budget. If you see some of the income tax laws which have been brought in, for example, I'll just give one simple example. It's about senior citizens. There is a definition of senior citizens. 60 years means you are a senior citizen, 80 years plus you are a super senior citizen. This time they say 75 years senior citizen. From where this definition came, we don't know. And it says if you are 75 years, you don't have to file return. Everybody in the parliament thumbs their hands. See, these are all just gimmicks. People, the public thinks, oh, 75 years ago, I don't have to file. But if you go to the fine print, it says you should be having only pension income and interest income. You have to have it only in one bank, and that bank is going to be notified. As on date, no bank has been notified. Just to tell me how many such senior citizens will be there who will be having only pension and interest. He may be having deposit in the cooperative bank. He may having 500 share dividend which he is getting. He comes out of it. And then again, what it says, it doesn't say that he doesn't have to pay tax. The bank has to calculate his tax and pay it on his behalf. It's the additional load again on the bank.
May I join you, sir? Yeah, based on actuarial science, it says the life expectancy of 72 in India. So the logic goes behind that only 3% of people could have lived more than 72, so they could have avoided it. That's a simple gimmick, as you said.
I'll tell you one more thing. We are talking about the EPF.
Yeah.
If your contribution is more than 2.5 lakhs, that interest is going to be taxable. You tell me, we made a study, you see it coming in paper. The total people enrolled on EPF is 4.5 crores. 4.5 crores. And the finance sector, Ajay Pandey, I think finance sector, he himself says the number of people who are paying more than 2.5 lakhs per year is 1,27,000. What is the percentage? 0.27%. Absolutely. Do we have to have waste our time in the parliament, discuss so much about 0.27%? You straight away say 2.5 lakhs is the limit. Like we have for the PPF, it is 1.5 lakhs in a year. But secondly, again I'm telling, okay, you leave it. Now they say there is rich people who are putting this. And so we are making it taxable. What is the rate of interest on the PPF? It is around 8 and 8.5%. 8.5%, let him pay 42% tax. He still gets 5%. If he puts the same thing in the bank, he gets 2% after deduction. 3%. Yeah. I think I'll stop.
Now, later, Prakash will be speaking, and we will have discussion with people. And we will change after sometimes you face a little change in the timetable, right? A change in the interest of having two discussions. That's the only purpose. Therefore, Mr. Vinay.
I will start with a saying, there are no free lunches. This is the problem which every finance minister faces, because there's a huge demand, not only for free lunch from a particular segment of society, but a free dinner and maybe a free breakfast also. But somebody has to pick up the bill. We have different lobbies where they say inflation has to be down, cost price has to come down. Other lobby says GST rate has to come down. Other lobby says petrol and diesel price has to come down. The art of any finance minister presenting a budget is to how to balance this opposing and contradicting demands. You can't make everybody happy. You can't make everybody sad. It's the job of the finance minister to see at least 51% of the population is happy, then it's a successful budget. This budget has been successful in that regard, that it has made more than 50% people happy. So that's why you see a lot of analysts, a lot of economists giving a thumbs up to this budget. Some have given 9, some have given 9.5 out of 10. If you look at the stock market, which is a barometer of any economic activity, it's given the biggest thumbs up to this budget. In the last 1 month, not even a month, the stock market has gone up by almost 15%, which is one of the highest post-budget rise in the last 2 decades. Coming back to the saying, there are no free lunches. A few countries tried to follow this and they paid a very, very heavy price. I'll give you the live examples of a couple of countries. One is Venezuela. As a small country, 3 decades back, it had the highest per capita dollar income in the world. Highest. It was even higher than the US or some of the smaller European countries. Today, Venezuela is a bankrupt country because the communist government which is there in Venezuela followed a policy free, everything would be free. Free education, free health, free food, everything is free. It came to such a pass that the local farmers there in Venezuela forgot to do farming itself. Because they were given free money, why should they farm? And the oil income was so huge that the country at one point in time could afford to import everything. Today, it's a bankrupt country. Inflation rate is 1,000,000% annually. 1,000,000% annually. That is the situation of that country. Most people cannot even afford a loaf of bread in a day. That's the situation that has come out. A second example, which is a socialist country like India, Argentina, which is in the process of moving very fast in the direction of Venezuela. Inflation there is almost touching 40%, 50% annually. Whereas in our country, when the inflation touches 7%, 8%, 9%, we feel, oh, prices are going up too high. You look at the Argentina's currency to a dollar. 5 years back, you would get $1 for 5 Argentinian pesos. Today, you require 90 pesos to buy a dollar in just 5 years. Now, these are the